Hello. Hi, Katy.
Hello, Doc.
How are you?
I'm really well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing beautifully. I'm just hanging out here with Dan.
Hello.
We've been,
Hi, Dan.
chilling on this.
Where in the world are you guys?
We're in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay, cool.
We're,
Well, then we probably know some of the same spots.
I think so. Where in the world are you right now?
I'm cruising around LA.
Cool. Where were you? What bathroom?
I just hit up a Starbucks.
Very nice. By the way, just wondering, what is your drink of choice at a Starbucks?
During this time of day,
Yes.
in the afternoon, it's like a passion fruit tea.
That's nice.
Do you use a fake name or do you say
It's
Katy?
I usually, when I do it myself, I just do Catherine, but people see right through that. I'm like, but Tamara, my trusty assistant, who's been with me for over 10 years, maybe 10 years. Is it 10 years now, Tim? Almost 10 years. No one's counting. She definitely does the Starbucks run. I sit in the car and just, do the WhatsApps.
By the way, how cool is that to have like a ride or die by your side for over 10 years now? Like that's real trust. That's a real relationship that I feel like maybe for like a normal person, they would take it for granted, but somebody in your position to have that trust for that long, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, she's seen the best and the worst and everything, in every dirty underwear in between and every bad hangover. Actually, every bad hangover in between. I remember when we were in Brazil, I had a really bad hangover because, when you're in Brazil and you go out with your band and stuff like that, I made her put me in the bathtub and dump ice over my head.
Oh my God, that's a real friendship. That's ride or die on another level. And I like how ice was the go-to remedy.
I shouldn't share that, but that's probably that. But I did, alas. It's a full moon, which means full mood.
By the way, what bathroom were you in for Potty Jam, which is my favorite thing now, and I want it to be a series.
Well, you know what? Maybe I will make it a series, or at least do another one, because I wasn't really expecting people to like that. I literally had it in my phone for a month and a half. But what I thought is that, I'm not on tour and I'm putting out new songs and people still want to hear them in a live way, in a live version way. And I was like, let's just do this spontaneous let's see how many people we can fit into one bathroom first and foremost and do a spontaneous little performance. But I guess, I don't know, maybe I'll make it into like the new carpool karaoke.
I think you're really onto something here that, I mean, it would be a shame if it didn't get, milked a little bit.
Yeah, we'll milk it. Come on, you can't, those numbers don't lie. You got to milk it when the numbers pop.
Amen. Can we? Never really over. Here's the deal. It's one of my favorite records of the year. And
thank you.
It's so, on many, many, many different levels, it is a awesome record. But the one thing I keep seeing over and over again is the Queen is back. Katy is back. This is it. This is
Where did I go?
But like, do you when you hear these things and you see them online, do you wonder that, or do you see it as a compliment?
No, I mean I understand. It's a compliment. Look, I understand what they're saying. It's like, I would say for my first. It's funny. It's like when you look at a graph of all these different artists that have existed for decades and upon decades, you see that the graph isn't always up. Yeah. It has a lot of jags in it, but it's about, that roller coaster and how well you ride that roller coaster. And truly, if you can survive, if your ego can survive that roller coaster, because it's, not for the faint of heart. You got to have a bit of crocodile skin to go through it. But I think that there's a lot of growth to learn in those moments, and I feel like I'm really grateful that people have reacted to this song in the way that they have, because I was putting the finishing touches on It Was Dead on tour in August of last year, on the last tour, and I sat on it for quite a while. So, I had heard it hundreds, if not thousands of times before it came out. And I just didn't really know if it was going to work. Like, it worked. It's working. So, yay.
By the way, the ebbs and flows that an artist goes through in their life and the roller coaster and how hard it is, isn't that really what kind of sets apart those who can last and be timeless and those who can't, in a sense? Right? Like, because not everybody can go through it.
I guess I can say that based on the small, maybe, yeah. I've only been around for 10, 11 years. So I would say I would ask someone a little bit more seasoned that's been around for 2 and 3 decades, if that's the reality of it. But that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm not going to compare myself to Bob Dylan or Neil Young, but Bob Dylan made a record with an electric guitar and everybody hated it. And Neil Young made an 80s record and they were like, he's lost his damn mind. And they're still chill.
Yeah. They're pretty chill. They're chiller than chill.
Yeah.
On another level.
Yeah.
By the way, real talk, you do have records that are going to last generations and generations and generations to come. And I think there's going to be more added to it. And it excites me for this 5th album. I'm beyond excited. I
haven't really committed.
Ooh.
I haven't committed to calling anything an album or making an album. So,
okay.
Just FYI. Also, I've never been able to just put out songs, just one after the other. And we'd love to kind of, everyone's like, oh, people don't put out full records anymore. They just put out songs. What a shame. I don't know if it's a shame. Actually, every song gets their own little moment. They get it gets a spotlight, it gets a visual, and every song to an artist is somewhat important. So I'm not upset necessarily, but if there's demand for a full body of work, we'll see.
Whoa. So is that cool in 2019 that you can kind of decide how you want to release music? Because one, the audience and the way we receive music is so different, but also obviously you're in a different position than you've ever been before, right? Like you get to decide your flow.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't just get that chance unless you put in tens of thousands of hours, I guess. I think once you've gone through, the gauntlet of the music industry and the music business and entertainment and survived it, then yeah, maybe your weights are a little bit less than they were. But also your priorities just shift as you get older, and I used to be a lot more thirsty. I say that in the desperate sense. not in the fact that I have a tea in my hands. But I just was I was wanting to prove my self-worth, and I was trying to prove that via everybody validating me. And, I had to do a lot of work to kind of break that spell, and it's not ever gone, that kind of, when you're self-conscious a little bit, but it's come a long way.
How do you determine, I don't want to say success, I think success is wrong, but how do you determine validation or happiness with your music now compared to before?
Well, before I was, it's hard to be able to say this once you've achieved so much. When you have yet to achieve your goals, then of course it's hard to have this kind of clarity. But it's like I say, it's hard to say this stuff when you're sitting on top of the mountain of that you built, because it doesn't make sense to everyone else that haven't climbed the mountain. But I guess it would be the success really is about your mental health and your happiness and balance and your family and your friends. Not all the money in the world is going to love you. There's a lot of people that figure that out eventually when they get there. But I guess what I'm doing now is not putting so much pressure on myself as far as making music and just, going with the flow, and every time I feel, inspired to deliver whatever idea that's popped into my head, or a message, or be a messenger, then I just go into the studio and I put it down. And so, there's a couple of those coming.
How often does that happen? And like, how long will you wait between an idea pops into your head, or you realize a message that you want to share, and like actually getting into the studio? Is it immediate?
No, it's really like I'm just always writing and jotting things down and collecting ideas. I mean, I've had some ideas, just titles. Like, I really am, my strengths are lyrics and melodies, and titles. I'm super good with titles. Like, for instance, I was shooting American Idol with everyone in Hawaii, and my boyfriend, he was my boyfriend at the time. I'm not sure. I think so. Anyways, we were in Hawaii, and we went and we rented a Harley, because we were just there for a few days, and, to be like on the back of a motorcycle in Hawaii, and just with the air, blowing on your face. It's so beautiful. It was awesome. But I can remember specifically where I was, the street corner I was at in Oahu, and just going and like turning that corner and like whispering to Orlando going, I'm going to write a song called Harleys in Hawaii. And I did. So I think that, that's something that'll come at some point, but it kind of just drops into my head. It's just like little ideas, I guess.
Harleys in Hawaii. That is a life I want to one day live. Really. I'm picturing that in my head, and it's so cinematic and beautiful. Oh.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Hey, thank you for the energy and the time that you just gave us. It really is beyond appreciated, and I really look forward to playing Harleys in Hawaii soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Too soon. I'm literally gonna get in trouble for just giving away a soundbite.
I appreciate it deeply. And by the way, until then, and even when that's out, I'm gonna be pounding Never Really Over, because it's a quality record. It's on my personal playlist. I listen to it at least once a day. Not being on the radio, I love it.
Thanks,
and
man.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
Hey, thank you, Dan.
Oh,
Dan
yeah.
doesn't say much, but I hear you, man.
I'm here.
Do you have anything to add, Daniel?
Well, I have more questions now about this song, but I don't know how much you can say.
Well, what do you mean? What song?
Harleys in
Never
Hawaii.
Really Over?
Harleys in Hawaii.
You're getting ahead of yourself. I gotta go.
Appreciate you, Deep. Have a beautiful day.
All right. Bye.
Thanks, Katy. Bye.